The Great Lady Fight, The Fantasy Rivers and Lakes of the Great God. Chapter 1. A Corner of Jianghu, the first appearance of the Great God. There is a legendary figure in the rivers and lakes, known as the Great God, who is unbeatable. Whenever there is trouble in the rivers and lakes, he always breaks through alone and is invincible. But the mystery is that the Great God never brings companions, especially his lady Quicksand. Yo! Great God, why is it alone? Where's your lady? Jianghu passers-by greeted warmly. The Great God smiled faintly, and there was a kind of light in his eyes. I went to grab the boss with the Quicksand gang. Everyone laughed, and the topic of rivers and lakes instantly became lively. Chapter 2, The Quicksand Gang's Conspiracy. The Quicksand Gang, a notorious organization on the rivers and lakes, is heroic on the surface, but in fact there is an undercurrent. The gang leader Qianbeijin is famous for robbing silver and is arrogant. The Great God and Quicksand are the core characters of the Quicksand Gang. This time, the Quicksand Gang is eyeing the most precious dragon and phoenix silver in the rivers and lakes, and a melee for wealth and power is about to break out. You don't know, silver is not only wealth, but also ancient secrets. Quicksand sneered, grab it, and we'll be able to dominate the rivers and lakes. Chapter 3, The Mystery of Silver. The dragon and phoenix silver is no small matter, and it contains a mysterious map, which is said to lead people to find the lost martial arts mastery Nine Heavens Xiangong. The Great God, Lai Usha and Qianbeijin are secretly wrestling with each other. Whoever can grab the silver will be able to dominate the world. At this time, a mysterious assassin sneaks in at night, intending to seize the silver, and the situation is unpredictable. Chapter 4, Fantasy Confrontation. The Okamai and his party tracked down the assassins, encountering the bizarre phantom forest on the way. In the forest, time and space are reversed, illusion and reality are intertwined, and it is difficult to distinguish friend from foe. Quicksand shows mysterious internal strength, can control wind and sand to form a maze. Qianbeijin summoned the gang and was good at Kimandunjia. The Great God broke the formation with peerless swordsmanship, and the three of them came and went, and the battle situation was treacherous and changeable. Behind the night assassins, there is the supreme secret of the rivers and lakes, a multidimensional conspiracy. Chapter 5. The rivers and lakes are multidimensional. Jianghu is not just a single world. The dark organization Fantasy World is trying to break the dimensional barrier, control the multidimensional space, and expand its power. The Great God, Quicksand, and Qianbeijin are forced to form a fragile alliance to fight against the conspiracy of the illusory world. In the realm of illusion, common sense fails, light and shadow are unpredictable, and they experience absurd and bizarre trials, dreamlike battles and mental labyrinths. Chapter 6. Snatching the Girl. However, here comes the biggest joke. Jianghu people laughed and said that the Great God always appeared alone, because he went to rob the lady with the boss, and went to grab the silver with Qianbeijin. In fact, the Great God's lady, Quicksand, has multiple identities, which is not only the core of the strong enemy, but also the greatest weakness of the Great God. Where have you been, Great God? Where's the lady? The people of the rivers and lakes are still puzzled. The narration quietly revealed, I went to fight with the boss and Yin Ziai for the wife. Chapter 7, The Truth Revealed. On the eve of the decisive battle, the truth gradually emerged. It turns out that Quicksand is not only the leader of the Quicksand gang, but also a key figure in the fantasy world. She is both the controller and the manipulated. The Great God followed the Quicksand, not only to grab the silver and fight against the illusionary world, but also to protect her and prevent her from being consumed by the darkness. Both Qianbeijin and the assassins had different motives, and each of them played an irreplaceable role in the world. Chapter 8, Endgame and Rebirth. In the decisive battle, the rivers and lakes rose again. The great god broke through the encirclement with swordsmanship and wisdom, and the quicksand awakened himself in the double struggle of internal strength and soul, and Qian Beijan's conspiracy was discovered. The illusion world collapses, and the multidimensional staggering returns to stability. Peace is restored to the rivers and lakes, and the great gods and quicksand join hands to continue to act chivalrous in the changing world. Chapter 9, The Mystery of the Illusionary World. After the collapse of the illusory world, the rivers and lakes seem to return to peace. But Okamai and quicksand know that the real threat has not yet dissipated. The fragments of the illusory world are scattered in all directions, becoming the focus of competition among the powerful from all walks of life. Not only do these shards contain powerful powers, but they can also change the fate of the bearer and even distort reality. The great god and quicksand decided to retrieve the fragments themselves to prevent the rivers and lakes from falling into chaos again. Qian Beijan secretly laid out, wanting to use the fragments of the illusion world to enhance his power and dominate the rivers and lakes. An even more treacherous snatching battle quietly unfolded. Chapter 10 Copying Man Conspiracy. In the process of tracking the fragments, the gods and his party discover a shocking secret: the illusionary fragments can copy people's memories and abilities, and even create almost identical replicants. These replicants are mysterious and extraordinary, as if there are countless clones in the rivers and lakes. What's even more terrifying is that some replicants have begun to have their own consciousness, intent on rebelling against the creator. Who is the enemy in this battle between truth and falsehood? Who are the friends? The lines become blurred. Chapter 11, The Choice of Quicksand. Quicksand gradually felt the abnormal change in the illusory energy in her body, and that force constantly tried to consume her will. In order to prevent herself from becoming a puppet under complete control, she makes a difficult decision: to leave the great god and face the darkness inside alone. The heart of the great god is like a knife, but it can't be stopped. Quicksand embarked on a lonely path of cultivation, trying to completely purify the power of the illusion world in his body. During this time, the rivers and lakes resurged, and Qian Beijan took advantage of the situation to expand his power and make the situation more complicated. Chapter 12, The Mysterious Ally. Just as the great god is in a dilemma of being isolated, a mysterious ally appears: Blue Smoke. Born in a water town in the south of the Yangtze River and proficient in illusion and medicine, Lan Yan tells the great god that only by aggregating the fragments of the illusory world into a true illusion pearl can the chaos of the illusory world be truly suppressed. At the same time, Lan Yan revealed that he was once one of the guardians of the illusory realm, and left due to a disagreement in philosophy, and was willing to help the great god. The great god decides to join forces with Blue Smoke and start a new journey. Chapter 13, True and False Quicksand. In the process of searching for the true illusion pearl, Okamai encounters a woman who claims to be quicksand. Her looks, memories, and skills all match the quicksand. However, the great god sensed that there was a strange illusionary aura on her body, which should not be there after the quicksand was purified. After a fierce confrontation, the truth is revealed: this is a replicant of quicksand, but with a sense of self and a desire to be his true self. The contradiction between true and false quicksand intensified, leaving the great god in a dilemma. Chapter 14, The Secret of the Purple Sword. Blue Smoke discovers that there is an ancient rune hidden in the purple-green sword reforged by the great god, which is the key to controlling the illusory fragments. However, this rune is gradually becoming ineffective, and if it is not reactivated, the power of the illusory fragments will get out of control, causing chaos in the rivers and lakes. To do this, the great god must go to the rune altar located at the top of the Tian Shan Mountains to crack the secret of the sword and reawaken the power of the runes. This is a challenge that will affect the fate of the rivers and lakes. Chapter 15, The Final Battle. In the decisive battle of the rune altar, the great god, the true body of quicksand, the quicksand replicant, Qian Beijan, and Blue Smoke all gathered. The energy of the illusory fragment exploded, and the entire altar was twisted into a space-time labyrinth. The five must overcome their demons and illusions before they can truly control their power. The true body of Quicksand and the replicant choose to put aside their hostility and work together to assist the great god in awakening the runes of the purple and green sword. Qian Beijing was unwilling to be defeated, and was finally shocked by the zicking sword and woke up. The five of them resolved the crisis of the illusory world in the midst of the turmoil. Chapter 16 The wind rises and the clouds rise. After the incident at the rune altar, the rivers and lakes were temporarily calm, but the dark tide was surging. Although the fragments of the illusory world have been collected, it is rumored that the shadow heart in the fragments has still not been recovered. This is a mysterious fragment that can flow through time, and it has fallen into the hands of the mysterious man in black, Nightwind. His purpose is not simple, and he even points directly to the throne of the overlord of the rivers and lakes. Sensing the danger of this force, the great god in Quicksand decide to track the Nightwind and stop him from breaking the final balance of the rivers and lakes. Chapter 17 The Mystery of the Night Breeze. The Nightwind is unpredictable and unpredictable. It is said that he came from the snowy regions of the north and learned a rare anti-time sword technique, which was able to reverse a short period of time. The great god in Quicksand trace all the way to the snowy ancient city of Frost Castle, which is full of frozen time traps and time and space barriers. After many trials, the great god finally faced off against Nightwind at the peak of Frost Castle, the sword chi of both sides intertwined, and the laws of time and space distorted in the air. Chapter 18 The Sword Dance. During the battle, the great god suddenly comprehended the core meaning of the anti-chronological swordsmanship. Time is not resistance, but a part of the swordsmanship, which can be shuttled and controlled at will. At the same time, Quicksand used the power of wind and sand to build a protective formation on the side to block the attack of the Nightwind. Nightwind is eventually defeated by the wisdom and swordsmanship of the great god, and the heart of shadow is recaptured. But Nightwind left a foreshadowing before dying, and the power of the illusory world may be far deeper and more terrifying than they imagined. Chapter 19 The Lost Tales of the Lost Rivers and Lakes. After the Heart of Shadows returned to its place, the great god in Quicksand deciphered an ancient legend from the fragments. Legend has it that there is a void gate, which connects countless parallel worlds, allowing the strong to travel through different rivers and lakes and obtain supreme power. In order to prevent the void gate from falling into the hands of evil, the great god in Quicksand decide to embark on a journey to find and seal the void gate. Chapter 20 Multiple Rivers and Lakes. Through the void gate, the great god in Quicksand came to the rivers and lakes of the parallel world. The rivers and lakes here are completely different from what they are used to. Some are full of high-tech weapons, some are respected for magic, and some are ruled by monsters. The two have experienced various bizarre events, met all kinds of partners from other worlds, and their martial arts and wisdom continue to evolve in exchange and collision. Chapter 21 The Void Seal. After much hardship, the great god in Quicksand found the location of the Void Gate, an ancient altar floating in the void. In the process of sealing the Void Gate, they encounter powerful Void Guardians and dark forces who intend to use the Void Gate to control all rivers and lakes. The final battle unfolded, the great god turned into a sword, the Quicksand was protected by wind and sand, and the two worked together to seal the Void Gate and stop the spread of darkness. Chapter 22 Return to the Ordinary. After the seal was completed, the great god and Quicksand returned to their original rivers and lakes. They have unloaded the burden of the past and decided to live in seclusion in the mountains and forests, living an ordinary but comfortable life. As a result of their efforts, the rivers and lakes have become more peaceful and diverse. Quicksand occasionally recited poems and painted, while the great god focused on teaching the younger generation's swordsmanship and wisdom. Finale. There are ups and downs, laughter and tears, but for the great god in quicksand, the most important thing is to stay with each other. After a magnificent adventure, they find their own peace and happiness. The rivers and lakes are still unpredictable, but the two have become each other's most solid support. Underscore 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 un. Postscript. Robbing the Lady Wars, the fantasy of the great god combines the legends of the rivers and lakes, fantasy, adventure, and humor elements, showing the power of love and courage. Each chapter is a story full of twists and turns, and the characters show their true temperament in robbing and being robbed. In the end, the story is not only a legend of martial arts, but also a profound journey of growth, redemption, and humanity. I hope that readers will feel the infinite charm of this river and lake in laughter and moving.